Now, I know many of you are concerned about the world we live in, that I've had to expose things and take defiant credit for mud floods. And some of you may not like those who deny flat Earth or who deny mud floods or defy their programming, or maybe they're not able. Oh, look, there's that 5G ray again. You see, get out the cheap phones. I don't know if this shows up on the high quality one that I'm going to use in Santa Barbara, but that's the 5G wave. And I'll be honest with you, my eye has been hurting today. So different frequencies can cause eyes to hurt or eyes to burn or to feel like you got ping pong balls. They can cause your lips to split on the inside. And there's some nasty stuff coming down. Now, I'm not really good with the clothing because it looks like 1910 or 1920s mud flood here. And this would have been during World War I. And since we are pretty confident from all our studies that the technology has always been here, and that we live in eternity, and that this place is purgatory, is this being done by the Edison in Santa Barbara, California? A machine that if you go to Santa Barbara, you'll see the Edison everywhere. It's not Thomas Edison. As we know, everything in history is faked. Everything is not as you've seen. But certain people will slip in photos. And they'll deny flat Earth, they'll deny mud floods because, they took them stupid blood oaths as Freemasons, not knowing the internationalists had always controlled the Freemason lodges. Now, the Freemasons, y'all need to organize, coordinate. You are, cells. You are ISIL. You are ISIS. You are the terrorist of the world. You betray every country's constitution. That's a pretty tall building back there, isn't it? Almost looks like a modern skyscraper. It's an interesting. Now, I'm not going to tell you where I'm getting this photo from, but I appreciate the person. We banter sometimes. He calls me a nut job, lunatic, freak job with fantastical, insane lunacy ideas. But then he gives me a gift as a sovereign. See, I'm not a slave. Once you know who you are, once you know where you are, once you know how to speak the language of law, even though we are the World Republic Constitution, we must know the laws of the lands we have to inhabit until we take this world back. So I want you to consider, what year is this? Is this 1890s? Is this 1920? Is this 1840? They had electricity in the 1800s. We know that. But you want to tell me mud floods don't happen? You want to tell me you can't blast a nuclear bomb, hydrogen weapon right here, and shockwave a lake and have that lake, flood the city without destroying it? You got to realize hydrogen bombs are multi-purpose weapons. Oxygen is not air. Oxygen is a liquid. It's a gas apparently we can breathe, but it's not air. Air is air. Hydrogen is not water. Hydrogen is another liquid or a gas. So water is water, air is air, oxygen is oxygen, hydrogen is hydrogen. You mix hydrogen and oxygen and you get a nuclear bomb. Not made out of atoms. Atoms do not exist. DNA is based on atoms. DNA does not exist. But that's a fucking tall building back there. That could be a Sears building. That could be a modern 21st century building. I mean, isn't that interesting? I think it's a chimney or one of those, the guy was talking about the trains. The guy from Russia, I think, said these are polarization things for the trains. Of course, I flew on the plane and I left my airplane mode off and I went from ground to top and lost GPS. You get too high sometimes, it cuts out. But I did notice that riding in airplanes, when you hit turbulence, you're not hitting turbulence. You are connecting to a sky rail in the sky. Uh-oh, I'm going to lose this. Don't lose this. Hold on. I got my thing. There we go. All right. The machine likes to go to sleep or screensaver mode. Sorry about that. As for your worries and your fears and your concerns, remember how we pray. You put out your left hand and say, give to me your worries, your woes, your fears, your troubles, your uncertainty, your insanity, your madness. You can't handle this bullshit. That's what we say. Whatever you want to say with your left hand, that's where you tell them to give to you. Say, give to me your worries and your troubles. With your right hand, you hold them both up at the same time. You say, take from me my knowledge, my strength, my courage, my defiance, my rebellion. And then you clap your hands, and that is the end of the prayer. That is how Pakto prays. This is what Raka is. This is what the cursed people, the forsaken, the forbidden, if you've read all the writings I have shared, you know that it's not just the laser beams they're shooting into mirrors and destroying. They're also got magnifying glasses focusing the sun that took down the Twin Towers. This was done by a hydrogen weapon. You can just look at the pattern. They didn't need to destroy the city. They just had to put them in their place. And those who survived, like that guy way over there, I don't know what he's doing. And you got these two here. Looks like we got a golf player, or a couple of golf players. I guess they lost their golf field. This could be Carrollton. This could be Texas. This could be Miami. This could be Nebraska, Kansas, Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland. This is what we're up against, people. So the longer you let the world leaders do as they please, which we believe the world leaders are just as helpless as us, we need to figure out, are we just fighting a machine? Is the internationalists, the people who say we are the internationalists, are they the ones who think they have the right to play with the Edison and cause the moon and the sky and the sun to do things they don't do normally? Do they have a right to have access to all the 5G beams? Do they have a right to tell us to kill one another for their pleasure? Freemason or non-Mason? So I'm telling you, Freemason, you want to become freed Masons. And, if we got to destroy the world or they destroy the world, let's just make sure we kill them. And then we share all knowledge. And then we establish our World Republic Constitution. And then things of this nature happen no more. We don't need to keep repeating the Iron Age and an Ouroboros curse. It is time to go back to the Golden Age. The oracle for the end of an age, connected to the source of all creation, has spoken.